So good. So good. It's so soft, moist, and delicious, and I can't believe all the ingredients that go into this. It's so good I can cry. You've requested and today I deliver. We are baking today with no oven. What are we baking? We are baking a super moist chocolate cake with healthy swabs, and it's even gluten free. As you've seen, I have loved this cake entirely. Oh my god, it was completely melt in the mouth. What is your favorite flavor of cake? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments below because I would love to customize according to your tastes and preferences. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Lenoshka. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget also to share your photos with me on Instagram because I love to see them. It makes me so happy. So let's get to the kitchen and let's get started. Welcome back to the kitchen. I got a new apron. My mom gave it to me. Thank you, mama. Okay, so first for this recipe, we're going to separate the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. The dry ingredients, we have first 1 cup of ragi. So it's a gluten-free flour, so it is great for people who are gluten intolerant. And I've given this to my friends and they cannot taste the ragi in it. So 1 cup of that. Instead of refined white sugar, we're going to go with a jaggery powder, organic jaggery powder. You can use 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. You can also go ahead and use cacao powder like I used in this recipe for the brownie. But today I'm going with Hershey's unsweetened cocoa powder. 1 teaspoon of any coffee powder, that is just to bring out the flavor of the chocolate. And last we have 1.5 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon or just a pinch of some organic salt. I'm just using some local salt, sea salt. Okay, let's add all of this into a bowl and mix it together.
Ragi or the finger millet is an excellent source of calcium among many other nutrients. I love swapping healthier options instead of the refined flours or sugars. I also recommend using locally available organic salt. You can also use this technique in any of your other bakes to make it healthier. Put all the dry ingredients in a bowl and give it a good mix. Make sure that there are no lumps.
Okay, so now the dry ingredients have been mixed together. Let's go forward with the wet ingredients. First, you'll need to melt 100 grams of chocolate. I'm using 100 grams of dark vegan chocolate. If you can get your hands on some refined sugar-free naturally sweetened chocolate, that would be great, an added advantage. I'm just going to, you can either melt this in a microwave or you can use a double boiler. So I'm going to show you how to use a double boiler and melt this. So for the double boiler, you'll be needing a utensil with some water, just a little bit of water, and you put chocolate into another bowl, place it over this, but make sure the bottom doesn't touch the water level. Just keep an eye over this while I explain to you the rest of the ingredients. The second wet ingredient is some vegetable oil. Today I am using, I am a big supporter of using local produce and local products. So we are using Nala coconut oil. It's a cold pressed virgin coconut oil. So a 1/4 cup of that.
Nala's coconut oil is handcrafted from fresh, organic, ethically sourced from family farms in the tropical paradise within Goa. It's free from preservatives, additives, and heat. Their coconut oil is flavorful and light with a pleasant nutty fragrance.
So you can see the chocolate is already melting because I just kept an eye over it while the heat was low. So we can add the coconut oil and just mix it together. Just be careful because the utensils are very hot. I also love this logo. Another reason I love using this product in baking especially is because it does not have that too much in your face coconut kind of flavor. So this is taken off the heat. Please mind your hands and just give it a good whisk. It's still a little warm, so you can just let it cool for some time. And while it's cooling, let's take a weighing scale. I highly recommend you getting one if you're looking into baking more often. So this is about 100 to 110 grams of one banana. That's equivalent to one large banana. And let's just mash it with the help of a fork.
Bananas are used as a vegan egg replacer in most of the recipes. You can also use applesauce if you don't like bananas.
If you don't have a weighing scale, that's fine, don't worry. I tell you most of the time in terms of measuring cups because I know it's easier for you. So this banana is equal to around half a cup. The next two liquid ingredients are 1 cup of hot water. I just popped this in the microwave. You can just heat it.
Mug.
The measurement is cup. If you don't have a weighing scale, that's completely fine, don't worry. Most of the time I like to tell you in terms of measuring cups because I know it's easier for you. So this is equal to around half a cup. Okay, the last two ingredients are a cup of hot water. I just put it in the mug and put it in the microwave for a minute. You can just boil it and you can add the hot water. The last ingredient that we'll be using is coconut vinegar, again a local produce.
The vinegar makes the cake fluffy by reacting with the baking soda in order to release carbon dioxide, as well as ensures the cake is nice and moist. Nadla's products are available on Amazon. I will leave you the links below in the description. You can now add all the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients mixture and give it a good mix.
So you give it a good whisk. Make sure that there are no lumps. This is just some the mashed bananas, some of the mashed bananas. If you have a problem with it, you can just puree your bananas in the mixer. I don't because it just it's not going to affect the cake that much. So as promised, this is a no oven recipe. Now I've been baking for the past 11 years. Before me, my mom used to bake, so we always had an oven in the house, but as you all requested, I am baking today in a pressure cooker. This is my second time. The first time I tried was just to make sure everything goes right. So yes, here it is. Let's preheat our oven for today for around 10 minutes. I'm going to put a little water at the bottom and a ring in the center. Let me show you.
Place a ring in the center and then cover the pressure cooker and preheat for 10 minutes.
So I've used water in the pressure cooker, so it's going to kind of steam the cake, and I really love this when I tried it because it ensures that the cake is not just a moist chocolate cake, but it's a super moist chocolate cake and it just melts in your mouth. So this suggestion was given by Dr. Chen and Shubhra to use a no oven recipe. Also Kevin sent in the request to make a cake recipe, so don't forget to send in your requests. You can leave your comments below and I'll be happy to do exactly that. So while the pressure cooker is preheating, let's just line this with some butter paper or parchment paper and just grease the pan. Okay, I've used vegan butter. You can also use oil in order to grease your pan. And let's pour in the cake batter. Even if you do have an oven, I really recommend, at least for this recipe, you should try the pressure cooker. I think it's so cool, and like I said, it's super moist. So one tip is to take off the vent valve as well as the gasket of the pressure cooker, and we're going to pop this inside on top of the ring and let it cook for 40 minutes. So then we'll check with the help of a knife. Okay.
After 40 minutes, you can take a clean knife and insert it in the center of the cake to make sure that it is done.
Please be extra cautious while removing the tin out of the pressure cooker. Don't burn your hands, and don't worry if it comes out like this, because this is a super moist cake. So you will see that it's sticking to it, but it's like when you remove the knife from a fudgy brownie, it's kind of like that. But if you look at it, it's cooked and it's clumped together. So let this cool completely, then we'll separate the sides. And please hold on to watch me unmold it, because if you put your hands right through it, it will crash. The cake is nicely done. So this is completely cooled now. With the help of a knife, just release the edges, just run through the entire tin, just to make sure that nothing gets left behind. And then you can just wiggle it a bit. You can see it release from the sides. Okay, now comes the tricky part. Please take 2 plates. If you're doing this for the first time, just follow these instructions.
Place the first plate over the tin and flip it over. Carefully remove the tin and remove the butter paper or parchment paper stuck to the bottom of the cake. Now repeat the same procedure with the second plate. Place it over the cake and flip it over. And there you go, your cake is unmolded and ready to be eaten. The cake is very rich and moist. It does not need any ganache. If you do feel the need, you can always go ahead and add some.